NFL live stream of consciousness rocking with you on a Monday. So a lot of stuff to talk about in the NFL. Scouting combine, agents are pushing back. They don't like a lot of the changes that have been made to make players run during prime time. They've really condensed the schedule now. It's them not having access to their trainers and personal doctors doing it. The scouting combine is something that, it doesn't really matter, but I always enjoy watching it for some reason. I'm just watching guys run. And that's pretty much it. The jumping and all those other drills, I like to watch the guys run and watch the guys throw. So what I didn't know is reading one of the articles was the NFLPA has been against the scouting combine for years. So the association, the Players Association, is damn near with this boycott of the combine. So the NFL has to get their shit together on this, because that's a highly rated event. That's one of the events that really just marks the start of the offseason. If they end up losing it, then that would really suck. Pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. And I think the NFL has gotten a little greedy. I think adding another game onto the season made the season feel a bit longer than it needed to be. I think they got away with it, but they're still trying to push more to 18 games. So I think the NFL is getting a bit greedy here, moving it into prime time, condensing the schedule. It doesn't matter if you run. You're just going to have the top guys opt out of it. They've already started to opt out of it in droves. And now if you're getting even the smaller players, I think of 150 of the 271 players that are represented it are threatening to boycott it. So NFL got to get their shit together a little bit here. Well, another thing that I found funny, Washington Post shows poll of the Commanders' name for the Washington football team, formerly the Washington football team, now the Commanders. That was a dumbass name. They should have just kept it as the Washington football team. That's a dumbass name. I don't know who picked that out. It always amazes me how you get to a certain level of achievement and you can do shit like that. For example, there's a firm that they paid, and the firm that they paid probably millions of dollars came up with a dumbass name like the Commanders and came up with a dumbass logo and jersey scheme like they did. When do you get to that level where it's just like, fam, I'm gonna give you $1 million, whatever you think we're gonna do. Okay. So yeah, that's not really surprising. Deshaun Watson, I don't know. We've talked about that enough. Here's something interesting. Micah Parsons played through a knee injury. So can he be even? I mean, he's a rookie, so he's going to get even better. But for my money, he was the best defensive player last year. I don't think it was even close for my money. So the whole Cowboys just running it back, that whole situation just kind of amazes me, because they weren't even close to being a team that could win the Super Bowl this year. And Jerry Jones is getting up there in years. And you would think that if there ever was a time to make a decision, it would be then. The Cowboys don't look like a particularly well-coached team. So for them to just run everything back, that was a very interesting decision. And I really believe that Sean Payton's going to be the coach of the team after this season, because they're not going to win with McCarthy and that cast of characters that they had last year. I mean, just what's going to get better? It's not like there wasn't continuity on both sides of the ball. There's continuity, same play caller, same defensive coordinator. So what is going to magically get better this year? You have Gallup, one of their better players, coming off of knee surgery. Maybe Micah Parsons can get better, but it wasn't really, to tell me the truth, it wasn't even really a defensive thing. It was an offensive thing. Dak, we haven't really seen any improvement for him. It seems like his best year was his rookie year. He's kind of slid since then. Zeke, it's another year of age and attrition on him and hasn't really, paid dividends. Offensive line is aging. Tyron Smith, aging, constantly getting injured. They were able to find some replacements this year, so the offensive line didn't just fall apart when he got hurt. But Jerry Jones just running it back just leads me to believe that something's cooking. Something's definitely cooking, and we already have a handshake agreement. Sean Payton, you go do your thing, enjoy yourself, take your sabbatical. Next year we come back, we're ready to win this bowl. I saw this here that the Steelers gives Rudolph a vote of confidence. If the season starts today, he'll be our quarterback. The season doesn't start till another damn near 9 months or 7 months. Like, what does it matter if he will be your quarterback today? That doesn't make any sense. And the last thing that I want to talk about, the XFL and the NFL provide a petri dish as part of the deal. The Rock bought the XFL after it went through bankruptcy proceedings after last year. And I think this is a smart move by him to tie yourself as much as possible to the NFL. One, I think it can work. I think it definitely can work because there's more gambling moving. Like most gamblers know, there's football season, there's basketball season, and then, baseball is not really a sport that's bet on as much as NFL and basketball, but really football just in general, the way that the sport is played. So I think gambling alone will give them a solid base to work from. Now that they're tying themselves at the hip to the NFL, would you be surprised if, now that there's the NIL money, it would be hard to say a player would leave college because you're making just as much as college as you would playing for the XFL. I'm guessing there's a lot of college players who are going to make way more money than the highest paid XFL player will ever make this year. So, but I think it's really smart to tie themselves to the NFL. Eventually, you wouldn't be surprised if the NFL did some promo on this, use it as like a minor leagues to get maybe some of their quarterbacks reps. I'm sure they'll be scared of quarterback injury, but there's nothing like, taking snaps when there's an actual pass rush. But yeah, injury would be the concern there. But, maybe it's even a coaching ground for young coaches that they can actually go in there, know what it is to run an offensive game plan. Say if you're the wide receivers coach for the Chargers and you never get an opportunity to call plays, you can go to the XFL for a 6 month stint or 6 week stint, and call plays and really learn what it is to run a game plan and figure things out and calling, being a play caller on the fly. That might be something that they might look at as well. So I think it's a smart move by The Rock. I think the XFL can work, especially with this gambling world that we live in now. There's going to be so many opportunities for them to gamble. They can go really deep into gambling. I think that's another thing they should probably do. Odds running on the screen, whatever way that they can make themselves amenable for the sport to be bet on, because guys will watch it just because they have money on it. So I think that's a play that they definitely need to look at. All right, so we'll go ahead and end it there. I'm really interested to see what this boycott on the combine does, because that's a top tier thing on the NFL schedule. And if they end up losing that, if the NFL gets too greedy and they end up losing that as a marquee event, that would definitely suck for all the fans of football. But we'll go ahead and leave it there. The game is the game.
So what's up, man? What's up with you otherwise, The game is a game. Always.